persistent with God because, he's better than just some ungodly man. But when I look at it, it's not that God needs us to keep asking him. It's that we need it. We need the faith, and and the only way we can have it and to keep our souls intact is that we have to keep building the faith up, like Brother Herndon was thinking. That scripture in James chapter 1, my brethren, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. And if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord. So it's telling us that we have to, we got to make consistent. We can't, like you said, hit it and then, I drop it. Maybe I just won't get it. But he wants to see that persistency in us. And I was thinking how, sometimes, I remember Brother Henry would sometimes say, like a guy might try to assess a woman and say, I can get her. Maybe the first, few tries, she, will kind of be like, no, I don't, I don't want to be bothered with you. I don't want to be bothered with you. But he sees something like, if I just keep being persistent, this is a sure thing. I can get this. And that shows your faith. Like, I know I can get this, so I'm going to keep coming because it's no big thing. I can keep coming to you 10 times, 50 times. I'm going to get it. So this is a sure thing. This is a sure thing. I have no doubt. So I don't have to be discouraged. I don't have to tuck my tail and keep moving on because this is a sure thing. And that's what I got of his name. We need it. So this is why it's taking him a long time to come to us, because he may be assessing, you need a lot more faith. So I might have to take 5 years for me to answer your prayer. I might have to take 10 years to answer your prayer. So that's what I got.
Sister Kim?
It's kind of ironic that we're speaking on unjust judge. My daughter has a situation before a judge, and he said some things I think was inappropriate for a judge. He was biased with the statements and the order. And as a mother, when your children come to you broken, hurt, disappointed, and upset, the first thing a mother wants to do is comfort them and make it better. That situation pertaining to her has been really, really, really attacking my faith. The enemy is trying very hard to move me as far as my faith is concerned. And he's using my children of this particular situation to get at me. And I've been praying extra hard because my emotions, my love for my child is tied up with this situation. So I'm trying to help her and help myself as well. I have to stay prayed up, to stay unmovable. Because if I don't, I may be moved. So, in praying the end results didn't turn out the way that I prayed, the answer that I prayed for, and the enemy attacked me on that. He came at me strong, and he wanted me to believe that God wasn't listening to you. He wasn't listening to you, but he was. Because he didn't answer me that day, didn't mean he's not going to answer me at all. So as far as faith is concerned, I already know what man can do for me. But when it comes down to believing in the Lord and waiting on him, I have to keep my prayers going up. I have to. I have to, because if I don't, I'm opening the door for failure. And I'm not trying to lose my salvation. I'm not trying to lose my faith. So I have to continue to pray whether the order is overturned or not. I cannot give up on the Lord. So faith is very, very, very important. Very important. Because like Sister Anissa said, when things come against you, and Brother Herndon, when things come against you, it's a whole nother ball game. Because the enemy comes strong and he comes hard. He comes hard.
My God.
And he used the closest thing to you to move you. And in my case, it's my children. And he knows that. But he done had me already. I've been broke up with him. He's not getting me back. So I serve a mighty God, and I have to continue to serve him, with or without the overturn of that order.
Yes, Johnny. Also, I think that God allows us to do that in order to come back to him over and over again, because he has a certain time frame that he's working in. But a lot of times because we need this right now, we can't trust that time frame. And that's another way to have faith. You know, my life was planned out. You know, I knew I had a stroke. I knew what was going on, and they had decided that they were going to medically retire me. But I had another one. And we were closing school, and we were doing all this other stuff. You know, I couldn't understand why I wasn't able to perform IEPs. I wasn't able to perform my administrative duties due to the stroke. And as soon as I tried to get back to work, they sent me home. And I didn't understand that either. I have not had income since then. I have not had any income. Just last week, I was talking to the insurance company, and the insurance company said, well, you can't get, and I told them, I said, I've been applying for unemployment, I can't get unemployment, my medical retirement pension hasn't come through, I need some income. And they said, you're supposed to be getting disability. And because of my own issues with the stroke, I didn't even realize that. They approved that and the pension. And they said it has to be retroactive. So by the time that it really comes through, in God's time, you know, I'd be a fine woman, you know. But you just don't see that when God is working it through. Even with the disability, they said 4 months out, you know, and I'm like, God, you've healed people instantly. Why am I having to go through this so long? But it's in God's time. And in his time, there's reason for it. Now, I'm a busy person. I like to be out there and doing stuff. You know, I can't sit still. But for some reason, I've been having to be made to sit still through this time. And trusting, it's been the hardest battle of my life. Along with grieving and all the other things that's happening, it's been the hardest battle of my life. But God encouraged me in my time. When I got that news yesterday, I said, look, God knows what he's doing. I just got to trust the process in his time.
Amen. Amen.
So and we'll get the answer that God will have for us. Yes, Brother Kerry?
I coming into the service
service heard that song that laying your armor down and whatnot. Made me look at Ephesians 6:11, put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. We're in the passage of chapter 18, Luke chapter 18, that we read down to 18, 1 through 8. In fact, well, it's telling what the lady was doing. It says that there was a widow in that city, and she came unto him, saying, avenge me of my adversary. And he would not for a while, but afterward he said within himself, though I fear not God, nor regard man, yet because this widow troubleth me, I will avenge her, lest her continual coming she weary me. Well, when I heard that song, I'm thinking about that armor, putting on that whole armor. Me being a new convert, I got to keep that armor on. I can't lay mine down yet. Because if I put myself in the position of that judge, the devil could be that lady steady coming at me, steady coming at me, steady coming at me. You gotta pray, I gotta pray without ceasing. I gotta keep my guard on. I gotta put that whole armor on and keep it on. Because if I'm not careful and I don't stand on the promises of God, if I'm not careful, the devil will get through and have his way with me. So that lets me know I have to stay focused, stay prayed up, keep my head, look at the hills from which my help's coming and whatnot. Or I can get weary and the devil can win. I'm determined not to let the devil win. The devil wants me back, living the way I used to, wants to put doubt in my walk. There is no doubt in my walk. I know me now. I know what I want. I know what I don't want. And the only way I'm going to be able to do this is to keep that armor on, to stand on the promise, to be able to fight. The devil keep him, to let him know he's not mine. I don't serve him anymore. I serve God, who is a much stronger and just ruler. Now, at the same time, too, if I continue to do that, learn how to pray without ceasing, continue to have that armor all the way around on me at all times, and not let the devil get through, that's going to build my faith to the point that if and when the Lord does come, he shall find faith in me, that I do want to walk with him and serve him, not the way I want to, but the way he wants me to.
Quick here, but he triggered a thought. A lot of times we're going through these situations, the Lord is trying to build our faith to get to a certain temperature to move for us. Okay? So when I was talking about building it, my mind went back to when Shalonda and Michael was taken from me when I got saved, when my children were taken. And then my husband had them, so he was charging me child support, but I had lost my job. Okay, to make it real quick here. So I couldn't pay the child support. I remember when I came to church, I didn't have that. I've never been in jail in my life. I didn't know how to relate to what was happening to me. Okay? So I remember I was just antsy. But I was praying, I was trying to do what was being said and trying to hold on to somebody else's faith and all of that. But I didn't have that. I didn't have that. And I remember, this went on for about maybe 2 or 3 weeks. I was just crying out before God. I'm a new convert. And all this stuff is happening to me. And I remember one day, I got down to pray, and something happened. And I came to church, and I told the saints, Brother McCraney was standing in the back of the church, our youth leader at the time. I said, I'm ready to go to jail. I said, but here's the deal. If I go, will you just make sure they'll give me my songbook and my Bible? But I'm ready. Something in me, God had to bring me to a level that he was looking for me to submit it and give it to him. That was on a Friday. That Sunday morning, on the front page of the newspaper in Jackson, Michigan, there was an article that said, there's no room in the jail for the nonviolent type, including those wanted by the friend of the court. God shut the jail down. But he had to bring me to a place. This is real stuff. He had to bring me there. Because I couldn't go to jail. Oh, I couldn't even put my mind to go into a jail. Oh, no. But it was all happening to me. But as he worked with me to get me to that point, and I surrendered it, Something in me broke. And I was ready at that point to be offered up. And the Lord stepped in.
Wow.
Shall we? I just wanted to say God is faithful. When we really need him, he's really faithful. He's so faithful that he was able to prepare me for this talk today. And he used Sister Carla to do it. I was so broke down and in tears today. And then Sister Tasha, when she spoke on about the time and the length of him preparing you. You're not ready yet, something bringing us up to the point to where we need to be. I believe that I have been saying that about myself for a long time, but then when I felt really broken today, and I called Sister Carla, why would she say that that's the study today? She says, you know what, Theo, I've been reading on the unjust judge. Luke 18, right? So she had me to read that today, and that was her study for today. And I was just like, God is just so faithful.
I was just thinking from my own personal experience. When I read some songs like How Firm a Foundation, where it says, fear not, I am with thee, or be not dismayed, for I am thy God, and will still give thee aid. I'll strengthen thee, help thee, and cause thee to stand, upheld by my gracious, omnipotent hand. And then I'll read songs which, like God's Way is Best, which is one of the songs that God gave me the night that my son died in my arms. God's way is best if human wisdom a fairer way may seem to show. 'Tis only that our earthly vision the truth can never clearly know. He leadeth true, I will not question, though through the valley I shall go. But I should pass through clouds of trial and drink the cup of human woe. And then we have songs like what we sang tonight. Blessed hope we have within us is an anchor to the soul. It is both steadfast and sure. And then the next verse says, hope has brought us through the dangers and temptations of the past, and we fear not what to come. And I think of these songs and these different things that we go through. It's because of the hope. I mean, to have a hope is an expectation, okay? And I have come to the point where it's like, Lord, you're all that I have. I have no one else. I have no other option, not in my mind, you know. I have no one else to go through. And you have all these promises in the Bible. They're true. So therefore, it's like I'm praying with a hope, and God hasn't failed. I think of my children. Many of the States might not know I have a Rh negative blood factor, and I've had lots of problems in my pregnancies. And for me to have had my child, I would have had to take an injection. God impressed me not to do that. And I believe in what I was told for my kids to even be alive or whatever, their blood type would have had to be, I guess, by something to that nature. Well, it's not true. It's totally different than what they said. Those are miracles. But because God had taught me, it's like, you know what? These situations are impossible to you. And yes, it's not easy. It's not like, oh, it's impossible. But God has shown me, like I read in Stream of the Desert, at times, don't focus on the situation, because then you get so discouraged. And it's like, the facts are there. But God does not deal with the facts. God is a God of impossibilities. And there are times, not all the times, but there are times like, Lord, I just can't wait to see how you do this one. And there are times like, Lord, I don't even see a light at the end of the tunnel. But I know who I'm serving. I know who's holding my hands, you know? And these are the things that build up your faith. And then when you do go through something and you look back, it's like, well, I remember this. It was that high. I remember this. So it's like, Lord, some way, somehow you got me out of that one. So I know I can trust you. I know because you're going to do this to me. And I think the main key for me personally is knowing that I can't make a phone call and change my situation. God, only you can. And I don't want anybody to. I want God to do it. Right. However means He uses, whoever He uses to do it, I want to know that God did it.
awesome. I just wanted to make a couple of observations with the scripture, men ought always to pray and not faint. And then someone mentioned that we always need to be on our knees. And I was thinking that's a spiritual application because, of course, we live in this world. We have to work. We're mothers. We're, fathers, whatever. And we have to, do our natural business or whatever. But I was thinking it's a spiritual application, and it's a state of being. And once we lose that, then things can creep in, our experience. And then Brother Herndon had mentioned the effectual, fervent prayer of a righteous availeth much. And I was thinking, the key in that scripture is righteous. We have to be right. And we can be fervent, we can be hitting the bench, we can be hollering, whatever. But are we right in our hearts? God sees that. And I was just thanking God for that. And even what Sister Boyer was saying about blood factor, because I have the same things. And my doctor had told me that his sister had the same thing, and all her 7 children died or whatever. But it's like in my heart, I believe God, and 6 more children later, because with my older 3, I took that injection. But then I got saved, and it's like, Lord, I'm going to trust you. And so by me trusting God, he did that for me 6 children later. And it's like, I know where my doctor is, and I want to go see him and let him know this is what God did for me, of course, with the prayers of the saints. But this discussion has done a lot for me, and I thank God for it.
I would say also this topic has been very encouraging tonight. A couple things. Luke 18. Sorry, I had it on my phone.
Good, man.
Verse 6, 18:6. Luke 18:6 says, and the Lord said, hear what the unjust judge saith, and shall not God avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them? I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man return or cometh, shall he find faith on the earth. And I just went over to Hebrews chapter 11, and I was just reading down through that, I guess that, excuse me. I was reading down through Hebrews 11, and verse 6 says, but without faith it is impossible to please him, for he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. And I kind of broke down for he that cometh to God must believe that he is. And he is what is the question. And basically he is everything that we need. If we go back to Luke 18, he said he will do it speedily, for his chosen ones, for his elect. And so I got to thinking, why do the saints go through so much? My God. It seems like we go through so much, Everybody it seems like we're all going through. And it just reminded me of the reasons why we go through these tests and trials. And if none of us ever went through anything, this Bible wouldn't mean anything, And like Brother Terrell said, I honestly think God is asking us, who are you relying on? At the end of the day, who are we relying on? If he has to ask, the question is, shall he find faith on the earth? we're all saints of God. Why is that question there? He's always going to have a church. Why is he saying, when the Son of Man returns, shall he find faith? And faith to me is, no matter what, you still believe God can do it. And one of the things that encouraged me recently is my mother's situation. My mother hadn't worked in, I want to say, 18 months. It seemed like my prayer or our prayers weren't being answered. It just seemed real dark, you know? And I honestly feel God gave her a little, no, he didn't. She's not healed yet, but I'm gonna wait for this other mic. She's not healed yet, but I know he can do it. You know? And maybe this is a test for her as far as, does she have faith in God the way he wants us to have? Or in due time, maybe he will heal her, and maybe it'll be for the saints at a certain time. Or maybe he's going to, who knows? God may show us that, like, just when we need it, he'll do it, you know? And the whole situation as far as her not having any money or anything like that, and him coming through, it seems like right when she really needed it, I'm like, man, he's still answering prayers. And to see that people are still getting saved, like people still have faith, you know. And there was another part of this that excuse me. The word diligently. I looked up the definition of that, and it says, doing something diligently means doing it thoroughly and well. It's the opposite of doing it lazily or shoddily. He said, the definition was, if you are tireless, persevering, and do things with great care, then you do things diligently. And a situation happened at my job a month ago, maybe. And we were putting in these transformers, which basically everything is supposed to be on point. Like you really can't mess it up, or it can turn into a bomb. So they had me outside, and I was working we had gone through maybe 15 of these. There was no problems. And how did it go? I was outside working, doing everything that I had been doing. And we came across one wire that we were unsure about. And I went to my journeyman, and it seems like we tested it, and it came back, everything's good, let's connect it. So when the time came to turn this transformer on, we all were like 10 feet away from it, and the guy turned it on, and it just started shaking. Like, usually it'll just hum like, and that's it. But this thing started shaking, probably seemed like a foot off the ground. I was like, so he shut it off real quick. Come to find out, it was that one wire. And at the end of it, the guy came to me, he was like, I'm so happy that it was a new equipment, because if this was old equipment, it would have blown up. And it just seemed like we got to the last one. Everything else had been fine. We got to the last one, and maybe we were trying to rush, or I don't know what was going on inside when they tested it, but it wasn't diligently. I guess that's where my point was. We were trying to get the job done, and it ended up, it almost took our lives, you know? And somebody came to me afterwards. He was like, yeah, a lot of times, you know, you could do things so many times, and like, you start taking it, you become careless about it. And to me, that's what happened. I didn't know, I just knew the wire was messed up. I didn't know exactly what could happen or anything like that, but he was like, yeah, the journeyman that you went to, he gets careless sometimes. And he was like, you just gotta watch your back for yourself, you know? And I was just thinking about prayer. Like, we can rely on other people's prayer, but you gotta ask God yourself for it. And to me, diligently is telling God, breaking it down. I need this, and this. Not just asking, well, I want to be healed, or I need a job. Tell him what you want. He said he'll do it. If you're righteous, he will do it, you know. And I hope that was encouraging, and continue to pray, and just know that he can answer your prayers, as we're seeing it now, you know. And I just hope this was encouraging, and hopefully I didn't talk too much.
And of spirit, to be weak and lacking. So basically, the scripture is telling us, don't lack courage and don't lack faith. Just keep going at it, keep praying, and you'll answer. He'll give you the answer that you should have. He will do that. All right, so I'm following these instructions. Let's see. It says do a prayer song. So, so we're gonna do that. All right. Now I need my basses and altos and sopranos and.
Do you have a song? Do you have one already?
I was gonna do just don't stop praying till the answer something. You got it?
No, it's okay.
Okay. All right. So all those singers, all of you, that's everyone.